Today, I'd like to talk about a new feature within Adobe Photoshop called Generative Fill. Essentially, what this is it's an artificial intelligence that allows you to generate information within a photograph that wouldn't normally be there, or information that you didn't capture within the image yourself. Or, as Adobe likes to describe it, you can dream it, type it, see it. Currently, as of the date of recording this video, which is June 21st, 2023, this is only available within the beta version of Photoshop. However, I'm fairly confident that this will be rolled into the official version very, very soon. However, if you'd like to play with this feature now, you will need the Photoshop beta. So in order to make sure that you have that, you can open up your Adobe Creative Cloud, go to the Apps tab, and where it says Beta Apps, you'll see an area where it says Desktop Apps, and then you can install any beta versions of any apps currently on your plan. As you can see, I already have mine installed, and down here in the dock, it's denoted as the beta version of Photoshop, different from the official version. So if we open this up, I have a couple different examples here that I'm going to show you, and we're just going to play around with this and see how it works. So I have a landscape that I took a couple of days ago. I took this using an infrared converted camera with a IR chrome filter on it. That's a completely different subject that I will talk about in a future video. However, in order to play around with this, let's just say I want to make this a little bit bigger and generate a little bit more sky, let's say. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then I'm going to grab my crop tool, and I'm going to extend the window a little bit further to about here, and click enter. And now, as you see, I have a giant white space around my photo. And we're going to use the generative fill feature to generate some information that wasn't normally there. So we're going to select our magic wand tool, and I'm going to select all this information. And then as you notice down here at this little toolbar, we have a couple of new options, specifically this button right here that says generative fill. Before I do that, I'm actually going to attempt to feather my mask a little bit. I'm going to give it a feather value of around 20 because I found out through testing this that it does kind of give a little cutoff line whenever you're trying to generate something new. Maybe that's just because I haven't played around with this as much as I would have liked to. However, now with my selection done, I'm going to click Generate Fill. And right here, we have a text box that says, describe what you'd like to generate, or feel free to leave this blank. If you leave it blank, the AI is going to take the information that's there and kind of figure out what to do by itself. But if you'd like to get a little bit more specific, you can always type in a prompt right there and it will generate something. So we're just going to leave it blank. I'm going to click on generate, and we're going to wait for it to come up with something. Also, while it's going, we do have a properties tab over here that you can input your prompt as well. But as you can see, this is what it came up with. So there's that little line I was talking about earlier. Sometimes it doesn't really like dealing with edges, but we can get around that. So as you can see right here in the variations tab, it gives us 3 different variations. So by default, when you type in a prompt, it'll generate 3 different versions, and you can cycle through them and choose the best one that you'd like. So let's see what the other ones look like. All right, that one looks slightly better around the trees, although I wouldn't call it that much better. And there's that one. I don't know if I like this, so I'm going to actually click generate again, and we're going to generate 3 more, and then we can play around with that and see which one of them look better. All right, so now we have 6 options to choose from, and I don't like any of them. This will take a little bit of fine tuning, and you can play around with it to do a couple, basically anything you can think of. One thing that I really would like to try is to see if I can generate a bird. So I'm going to just draw a little circle right here with my lasso tool. I'm going to click generative fill, and let's just type in bird and see if it'll give me a bird. Okay, that's that's definitely an interesting bird. Let's see the other variations. I kind of like that one. They don't look like they fit in the scene at all, but you get the idea. With playing around with your prompts and doing a little bit of fine tuning and fine tweaking, you can generate basically anything you would think of to add to your photos. You can extend them, make them a little bigger with information that wasn't normally there, and it gives you a lot of freedom to create and make something beautiful. So this would be my original photo, and ignoring all the rough cuts and the lines, this would be my new composition. And I think I would definitely need to play around with this a little bit more if I wanted to get something that looks good. However, that's just a little demonstration of some of the capabilities of this particular tool. Now, I do have one other use case that really saved my bacon in this particular photo right here. So, this particular photo was a little bit difficult for me to take because I took this at a fountain that was in a very enclosed space, and I really liked the detail on this dragon photo right here. However, there was a lot of children playing around, a lot of parents, and it took me a lot of time to actually get a shot with no other people in it. And right as soon as I clicked the shutter, somebody walked into the middle of my shot. So this is the final version. However, if I remove my generative fill layer over here, you can see I have this gentleman over here who decided to walk right in the middle of my shot as I was taking the picture. And after I took this shot, I just got so frustrated, I decided to leave and go somewhere else. However, using the generative fill feature, I was able to remove him completely from the photo in order to basically have it fill in the details of the stone over there. And this really ended up making a completely unusable shot a bit usable. So I'll actually demonstrate this for you. I'm going to grab my lasso tool and we're going to just do it again. I'm going to do my best to select a nice path around the gentleman over here who was unintentionally getting in my way. There we go. I'll click generative fill. I'm not going to input any text. I'm just going to let the computer do its thing and we'll see what it comes up with. And maybe it's even better than the last example. And there we go. As you can see, it's given us three different options and the gentleman is no longer there. So there's the first option, the second one, and the third one. I think in this particular case, I like the third one a little bit better, but I was really intrigued by the fact that I could use an AI to completely erase a subject from a picture with no other information there. I had tried everything. I had tried to use content aware fill to get rid of him, and it just didn't work. But this was able to do the job perfectly fine. And that's essentially all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to give a little bit of a demonstration on the generative fill feature. It's definitely completely amazing, and I want to play around with this a lot more and be able to see all of the amazing things that I can get. And I hope now you can have a chance to play around with this yourself and hopefully you can create something wonderful. So thank you for watching this video. My name is Nick from nickwilt.com and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.